we've seen how President Putin's aggression is not confined to Ukraine. Drone incursions into Poland, violations of Estonia's airspace, election interference in Moldova. Deliberate or not, Putin is watching what we do, and he should be in no doubt that if NATO is threatened, we will act. He should be in no doubt we will stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes. Thank you.
Dear colleagues, Secretary Healey, Minister Pistorius, today we held the 31st Ukraine Defense Contact Group meeting. UDCG remains the most important platform for coordinating international military aid to Ukraine. Dear John, dear Boris, thank you so much for your co-leadership on that platform. Ukraine is committed to peace, but we all understand Russia remains the greatest threat, not only to Ukraine, but also to all of Europe. That's why we held to act together. We need bold actions to increase pressure on Russia to stop this war. First of all, Ukraine must be strong on the battlefield. The Pearl Initiative is a high-value NATO mechanism that converts allied support into tangible capabilities for Ukraine. I am grateful to our partners from Sweden, Latvia, Estonia, Denmark, Norway, and Slovenia for announcing contributions to the new Pearl package, but today more partners join to these contributions, and we will see much more results after today's meeting, and we are so much grateful to all the nations. It will enable us to procure the weapons we urgently need to save more lives. That includes Patriot systems and other critical US equipment. Ukraine also counts on continued coordination and financing from our partners to ensure timely deliveries through Pearl in 2025. Our next priority is Ukraine's defense industry. In 2026, we will be able to build 20 million FPV, ISR, and other drones if partners commit the necessary funding. There are cost-efficient, swift, and combat-proven solutions. I want to thank the UK for our active cooperation in the field of interceptor drones and for providing, as Secretary Healey announced, 85,000 drones this year. Today we also signed an important memorandum with Germany to strengthen defense cooperation between our countries. Thank you, Minister Pistorius. These are concrete steps to repeal Russian aggression and build an effective arsenal of democracy. Another important point today, a memorandum was signed regarding the Nordic-Baltic initiative to provide equipment and training for Ukrainian brigades on the territory of Poland. This initiative will strengthen Ukraine's defense capacity and help bring a just peace closer. During our discussion today, we also put special focus on Ukraine air defense needs. As the winter approaches, Russia is intensifying its brutal air attacks targeting our energy infrastructure. Last Friday, Russia struck Kyiv's main power plant with ballistic missiles, leaving half of the city without electricity. We are asking our partners to provide the so-called winter air defense package, a sufficient stock of interceptors to protect our civilian population and our civilian infrastructure. We are grateful to all countries that announced today their commitments to keep supplying our forces with what they need. I want to say thank you to all nations who today announced their commitments, who support Ukraine during all of this period. We believe and expect that this comprehensive support will continue. Ukraine's total defense requirement for 2026 is estimated as $120 billion. Half of this, $60 billion, will be covered from our national resources, despite the ongoing full-scale war. We call on each ally to allocate 0.25% of its GDP next year to cover the other half of these needs, because supporting Ukraine's defense means supporting Europe's security. We are grateful to our European partners for practical initiatives that strengthen Ukraine's defense programs such as SAFE, Pearl, and ERA. At the same time, Russia must pay for its unprovoked aggression. It is essential that Russian frozen funds continue to work for Ukraine's benefits. That is why we recently proposed reparation loan backed by frozen Russian assets is so important to us. It provides a lawful and sustainable way to finance Ukraine's needs. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, colleagues, let me once again express my gratitude to Secretary Healey and Minister Pistorius for organizing this UDCG meeting. Thank you. Thank you, partners, for stepping up your support. Peace in Ukraine must be just, lasting, and protected by international unity. Together, we are working to achieve it in shortest way. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the statements. Now we have time for a couple of questions. Mr. Johnny Beale from BBC.
Thank you. If I could ask Defence Secretary Healey, first of all, sorry, Jonathan Beale, BBC. If I could ask you, sir, first of all, I think the Secretary-General said that at the start of today's meeting, 6 NATO countries were going to join the Pearl Initiative, which is essentially Europe buying US military